a very interesting industry presentation by Mr. Samit Singhai, co-founder, True Scholar. Can we please welcome Mr. Samit Singhai with a huge round of applause, please? Welcome, Mr. Singhai. We look forward to your presentation.
Hello. 1, 2, 3, check. Yeah. A very, very happy afternoon to all fellow delegates, academicians, professors, and all dear ladies and gentlemen. I am Samit Singhai, co-founder of True Scholar, and today I am going to talk about how digital credentials are a revolution and changing equation in higher education sector. Well, we all, first of all, I'm also thankful to ELETS Media for providing us this opportunity to talk about True Scholar and digital credentials at this prestigious summit, and I thank them very much. So, we all know how technological advances are fast changing everything in almost every sphere of our life. It is happening virtually in every aspect of education, of businesses, and it is changing the way we do or learn today. The fundamental structure of higher education is being transformed by digital technology. And with COVID pandemic, I think it has accelerated. I can say, no one would have imagined that your students studying in LKG and UKG would also be taking classes online. And I am very sure if this has been said 2 years back, we would have 95% vote against it saying that that's not possible. And with COVID, things have been accelerated and we are on a growth path where adoption of technology is now become the most important challenge and at the same time as an opportunity for all people across the spectrum. Today I'm going to talk about a disruptive solution called digital credentials and how importantly it has come into existence. And I'm going to divide my presentation into 3 segments, right from how the evolution of content and the delivery mechanism of courses, how the assessment techniques has been changed, and what revolution massive open online courses have brought to the industry. And now how do we look forward for more disruptive solutions which needs to be adapted? We all know, in the last presentation we heard about a lot of changes being done, implemented right from the people who are trying to devise the course itself, people who are trying to bring the changes, and as a country we're trying to adopt those changes in the higher education sector. So I'll talk about the evolution of the industry itself, how technology have changed and what exactly the students over a period of time have given as a feedback to the industry so that they can not only change the curriculum, the content, their delivery mechanisms, but also how they are trying to close the skill gap analytics that they are seeing each and every day. I heard somebody saying yesterday that we had a thin divide between education and the skill sets in the industry. He said it has been artificially created or maybe a mistake or a byproduct of the thinking line. But we need to bridge that gap very seriously because the students of the country are saying that, even after doing a doctor's program, I'm still not employable, right? So we need to really bridge that gap. So there is a huge change in the way curriculums have been redesigned again and again. And that's one of the things which has evolved over a period of time. The second thing is the role of social media. I'm not here to talk about probably the cons of social media, but I pretty much believe that everyone over here do have a presence on social media, either through LinkedIn or some other profile. I believe that's the way how people look forward for, analyzing anyone, talking about reaching out to someone and trying to see whom they're trying to reach out. And that's become a very important aspect in individual's life. We are not trying to ignore what kind of role it does plays on the academic sections, but definitely it has been the new age media talking about what kind of profile and thought process an individual do have, and they can share it to the public and reach out to more number of people, network with them, and really grow in their life. Then I'm going to talk about the revolution part of it. As I taught, evolution is something which happens naturally over a course of time. but revolutions are certain technologies which brings those evolution into existence. And the mock, I'm pretty sure when it came into existence almost more than a decade back, educationists were really excited to see whether it's really going to make that difference and impact the regular teachings and the way education is imparted worldwide. And today, we all know that it has been the game changer in the industry. It is trying to fill those skill gaps for particular courses, for particular skill sets which were missing critically into the regular pedagogy method of imparting education. And then the way assessments, we just have been talking about how important the assessment techniques have evolved. And it's more important to know whether an individual is competent enough in a particular skill set rather than or irrespective of how the learning has been provided to them. And that's how data science, computer science is helping out to really come out with more valuable assessment techniques which kind of take a regular feedback, a personal feedback of an individual and try to cater around to, fill those skill gaps and the study gaps into the segment. And then how other disruptive technologies which are taking shape at the same time. The reason I say those disruptive is, over the past 2 days, I have heard eminent professors and technologists talk about a lot of change in the way India itself is looking forward to change higher education landscape, right from the content to the delivery mechanisms to the assessment techniques and other things. But at the same time, as I said, technology doesn't need, is not someone's slaves and doesn't need a time frame to define when it should come and when it should go. So there are a couple of things which are disrupting the world parallelly across the time frame. And since we are trying to reframe our strategies towards education right from higher to K-12 segment, we should also be aware about what are the disruptive technologies that are taking shape in the worldwide. So as I said, evolution was necessary because of the following reasons, which we all have debated, discussed in the last 2 days, right from the increasing cost to the candidates not being employable with the skill set needed by the industry, all those standards, and how the regular degree value is decreasing day by day or devaluated because of the skill gaps. I talked about social media already, how it is taking shape and transforming. Resumes, I think no employer even to read a physical resume anymore. I mean, it's all digital, right? So we need a platform, we need technologies to be adopted which can show your digital resume, which is true to the point that has been shared till that time. The most important thing is an ecosystem which brings value to all stakeholders, right from the institutes who imparts education, to individuals who pursue their education, and to the corporate houses or the job market or the world which employs them to put to use. I talked about the MOOCs, the massive open online courses, how it has been disruptive technically when it was launched almost 14 years back, and what kind of role it has done. I'll give you some statistics which are mind-boggling. So today we have 220 million students learning mock courses, and that's a huge number I'm talking about. We have 20 million learners in India taking online courses, but worldwide it's 220 million students, with 950 universities already participating, to fill that synergies, to fill that gap which did existed into the curriculum and the pedagogy method that was implemented from, centuries. Competency-based program, I mean, as I told, it's more towards understanding the personal assessment of individuals, providing regular feedbacks, and trying to improve the skill sets which might be lagging or which might not be up to the mark for the students itself. Now, the first disruptive technology that is, changing the landscape across is the digital hiring. I would say how data-based techniques have been implemented to read your resumes, shortlist candidates, and make them lower down the funnel so that you can choose only the candidates which are relevant to the job profile. And I'm pretty sure last 3-4 years this has been exhaustively implemented across various industries where corporate houses are trying to use data analysis to even scan the resumes of the applications that they receive, maybe in thousands and lakhs of students. And the last one that I'm going to talk about is digital credentials. And believe me, would be the future currency for individuals in times to come. Digital credentials are the new ways of representing your skill set, your lifelong learning records, your age-old degree programs that you have done before, because the way education is now being implemented is through, making them smaller in size, modular, more skill-based, more focused, more towards what skill set is being needed. I mean, as technology is changing the landscape so fast that even the job profiles that existed 10 years back don't even exist now. So that's how it has to be really, really exponential on that curve. So digital credentials are the new way of representing your degree certificates, your course completion, your skill assessment, your skills learning that you might have learned over a period of time. And it is, along with the physical representation, it does have a lot of metadata embedded inside. I mean, and we'll all live in digital world, and pretty much everything has moved to digitization. Even your signatures, your compliances have moved online. Being digital, it is easy to share. It is easy to show it for verification to anyone who's there to read it out and testify the testimonial that whether the credential being shared is genuine or not. Another digital credentials which are now very widely accepted and being widely used for most of the skill-based programs are digital badges. Digital badges is one step ahead than digital credentials, and it's a new way of micro-credentialing, I would say that. Since degrees are also broken down into micro and nano programs, probably your skill sets are also getting broken into those categories. And as we know, I mean, we just heard that today we are bringing curriculum which can have modular design. You can have multiple electives. You can choose the way you want to, make your career stand out, make your skill set stand out by integrating all those modular courses and trying to become, a master of one territory. These are, as already spoken about, these are the reasons, the evolution, the revolution, and the disruptive solution, and why digital credentials are the hotcake and being implemented by universities worldwide is just because of these four reasons, where programs are broken more into skill-based, more into shorter category, and they are digitally available, easily shareable, and even portable. We live in a lifelong learning era probably, where the opportunities for continuous learning is immense. And the way we are looking forward, standing at 2021, even after COVID pandemic, I think reskilling, upskilling is a must, I would say that. None of the individuals could stand along in any kind of work atmosphere or a field where if they don't do reskilling and upskilling over a period of time, they would become obsolete. And with such kind of requirement the world is, or the challenges that we have in front of us, I think digital credentials would be very much helpful for everyone to implement, because that would give a very modular way of carrying those credentials, being representing those credentials, and even sharing those credentials, which is the way we live today. So I'm just going to talk about next 2 minutes about TrueScholar. We are India's first digital credential and digital issuance platform, and we are helping all kind of universities, institutes, edtechs, e-learning platforms, LMS, you name it, event management, and corporate houses to implement issuance of digital certificates and digital badges system on a single click, I would say that. This is a simple SaaS-based platform, easy to adopt, and very user-friendly to issue those credentials. We are backed with blockchain technology, and the reason for using blockchain is, I mean, everybody is pretty much aware about cryptocurrencies and blockchain probably since last 2 years. And blockchain is a very sound technology where you need to provide any kind of provenance of track records, any kind of supply chain, any kind of exchange of transactions or goods from one hand to other end, where there are multiple stakeholders. Blockchain is the technology which is widely accepted and now being implemented even by the government agencies across the world. So with blockchain, we are able to make those certificates as immutable, which cannot be ever deleted, hacked, changed, morphed, and takes away all the possibilities of any case of misrepresentation of those credentials or identities in future. We have made it very simple, secured, so that the owner of the credential, which is the learner, takes the whole responsibility of sharing it. And we are moving away from the age where it was highly guarded by the institutions which used to issue those credentials. Now, with the Personal Data Protection Guidelines, the Data Privacy Act, and the age that we are living, the learner or the owner of the credential is the sole responsibility, is the sole person who could decide whether he wants to share those credentials or whether he wants to prove those credentials for verification. It's not the institute anymore. And with such kind of system, it takes away all the hurdles of managing those credentials on their centralized server, or even their cupboards and resources being implemented to prevent this from hacking. We set out on a mission to become the Intel Insight of the education world. We really want to power all kind of academic credentials over blockchain and make the life very easy for individuals and institutes who are actually very much focused on the content and the way curriculum is designed, developing their faculty training programs, and not worry about the certificates and be compliant with the next 50 years of technology stack that is being implemented. Along with that, we have built certain salient features. I mean, as I talked about how digital credentials is taking shape across the globe, with more than 1,000 universities already adopting such techniques. There are a couple of other things which the platform do help you to understand, right from understanding what is the skill gaps, what are the skills in demand, either by students or either by corporate houses, or by understanding what kind of traction the social sharing about the certificates is bringing itself to the institute,
Yeah, Mr. Singh.
thereby increasing
Mr.
the
Singh,
brand awareness.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. I think you'll have to
I'm
wrap it
done,
up.
yeah.
We have next session. Thank you so much.
So, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate your time in listening it out. And are we
So
open for
thank you so
questions?
much, Mr. Singh, for your informative, presentation. Now I would like to, invite Dr. Jamshed Bharucha, sir, to kindly come on the stage and give a token of appreciation to Mr. Singh.